What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Oceania AI only battle. I hope you're excited. It's a big one because the Murray gonna pull off surprise of the century here. We'll see if they get it done. That would be incredible if they took Banuba's capital. I was also asked, and I will do it because I miss them. The Maori's strategic resources. They have some coal in the south. Oh no, they have some more here, like 6 as well. Bear in mind, also, all these cities could have something under them and it doesn't show up, so it's not even a disaster if you don't have any, because chances are they normally do have it. Oil here for the Maori, more coal, any more coal, a lot of coal, even more coal, but not much oil, so there you go. That's the Maori. They don't have any other cities at the moment, so they need to make do with that. And we'll continue. Kulin. Oh, are they going to attack Australia here? That would be... that'd probably be pretty smart. I don't think Australia is sending too much over. New South Wales got a settler. We'll see where that ends up on the map. There's a lot of workers. Oh yeah, oh my goodness, yeah. Australia. Mass migration of workers across the map there. And here we go, Banuba under siege. We'll see how this goes. This is gonna be messy. I think they won't do it. I'm gonna be honest. I think there's a tech advantage here for Banuba. I think they should be okay here, and that could end quite badly for the Murray going forwards, which is not what you want. There's also new, don't know if I saw on this before, but the New South Wales, another new city there. Ooh. I mean, to be fair, the Murray have a few frigates, so if they just defend wisely, but there's a load of Banuba frigates here as well, which I don't know if they were aware of, and down here, so it's going to be a bit of a mess. There's actually a lot of frigates. The Kulin even have a sort of small fleet here. Okay, this is what I thought. Surely someone else would join, and there we go. Ngarrindjeri has now joined. I don't know how much they will contribute. Actually, that's huge, right? Because, oh no, they're not. Okay, Banuba's army's here. Just trying to work out where Ngarrindjeri has cities. They don't have any. They have them all over the place. But yeah, this has just turned into a huge war for Australia. And somebody, oh, and Anangu joined in. Good job, guys. They're probably the only ones who are going to die from this. That's now the worst thing. They also joined against the Maori, or attacked the Maori. Well, it's going to get messy now. And the Kulin now join as well. Ooh. You never see this. We only ever see... it sometimes happens really early, when a civ takes loads of cities with not many units to back it up. But this is very unusual, this late in the game, that Banuba is just being tag teamed by everyone. Sadly for the Murray, it's not gone too well. And Banuba still sort of looks fine. But Indonesia now joining. There's more settlers going here as well for Banuba, which might entice in some more civs. In fact, there's 3 settlers here. Getting towards Brunei. Could trigger them, although they just seem very peaceful. They have a very small military. I wouldn't even say it would defend themselves, and they don't really have boats. I don't know if they have any exploring anywhere. They're just a very chilled out civ. That's the big one, I think. New South Wales joining in. But they're right next to Banuba's army. This will be very interesting to see how this goes. New South Wales certainly capable of going toe-to-toe with them. But yeah, it's probably going to be a huge battle in the desert now. They also attacked the Maori. So I don't know if the Maori is maybe sided with Banuba somehow. And then the other Anangu now. Again, very brave from them. But they're all uniting against Banuba. This is very weird and unusual. We do not normally get this. And Ngarrindjeri now also against the Maori. That's very interesting. We'll see how they all work this out, because there's obviously a lot. It's a huge amount of territory to work this out over. So we'll see how it goes. It could be interesting. And Brunei has become influential. I have no idea who that was over. I'm guessing maybe Indonesia, or probably not these guys. They look a bit better off. I would imagine it was Indonesia, but it could have been anyone really. I mean, if we got Laos v Vietnam right now, this would be like the craziest, craziest video in a while. Got Banuba. Obviously, I can't really. It's hard. Banuba's now fighting on a lot of fronts. We'll keep our eyes on cities that drop, but there's not exactly one front. This army, these units, not having a good time. They walked out here to say hello, and then they got the message. Nope, now you got to fight. It's not what you wanted. Maybe they'll be able to run away. But this is going to be, yeah, early on. There's not much stuff here for New South Wales, but obviously Banuba has to choose where to send all these units. They might not keep them here. They've now got Anangu to the north. There's naval battles going on all over the place, although Banuba does seem to have the biggest navy visually. Might not be actually true. Grab some more islands here as well. Just doing everything they can. But we'll see how the other civs respond. Let's just look at the demographic. Okay, New South Wales is dominant right there. They weren't that dominant in the info addicts a minute ago, so it's the last episode, so that's weird. Brunei still leading population and science. But yeah, the rest of it going the way of New South Wales. And depending on when we end the game, that does have an impact, because of course Brunei's advantage, kind of technology based. If they hit Tech 80, they start to lose that bonus. Everyone catches up, and Ngarrindjeri have risen up and changed to order, which is not great because it means there's 2 turns of no production, no science or anything like that, so it's a bit of a pain. But there you go, they'll probably be much better off for converting happiness wise, so it's not the end of the world. Kulin didn't attack Australia, this troop. I don't know where they're heading. Maybe they're going for this city. Bit of an easier target. The Muri have definitely taken some heavy casualties here at the hands of Banuba, but it is an exposed capital. I mean, it didn't quite work for Muri, but maybe next time. And yeah, their boats are putting up a defence. This privateer, very bold, just sailing in front of the frigates. They only moved it 1 tile, so they're obviously not too worried that those frigates will do damage. Maybe they're trying to bait them in to attack this one, and then this fleet turns up and wipes the floor with them. But the Muri could be doing the same. Their fleet's up here. But I guess, yeah, in any one-on-one, Banuba's pretty heavily favoured, apart from New South Wales, who are not exactly location-wise in the ideal spot. This army is splitting up a bit. There's some heading back. There's some trying to go this way. These 2 units are actually on the charge. See how that ends up. I don't know how Ngarrindjeri get involved in this. Where do they even go? They're just a very messy empire. And also they'll have to deal with anything the Maori sends over as well, but they seem pretty happy to not do too much. I don't know why they have... Oh, these are military units. I don't know where they're going. Looks like Aceh is about to discover them. I'm sure that's not for the first time. I mean, they at least know of each other's existence, but it might be the first time the Aceh's been over there. This island is now full with all these new cities, different colours. Everyone taking their little chunk of the forest, which I'm guessing they're all... Oh no universities. Vietnam has built a university here, so they get some extra science for themselves. Laos has also done that in the southern city, so again, a bit more science. But yeah, if they all build universities here, that will be a good chunk of extra science, as we know Brunei is heavily benefiting from at the moment. Up here, I mean, Laos have kept quite a fair amount of it, but they've also replaced a lot of it with farms. Still no war up here. They were actually, yeah, there's some trade there between both Vietnam and Burma with Laos. Singapore is trading with Burma by land. Interesting, they're opting to use a caravan. I think they could definitely be fully using cargo ships if they wanted to. This one's going all the way to Igorot. Brunei here trading with... That is very hard to tell. I think it is the Burma city. If you just follow the line in the corner of the screen, I think it was going up here. It's always cool seeing the trade routes. What crazy stuff they come up with. Aceh. They won't let me... No, if I click off it, it doesn't work. That's down to Australia somewhere. Probably one of these cities. This Singapore one is... Oh, there's 2 settlers here. Kulin and Lao. That's Singapore to Aceh. How's Banuba doing? We've not lost anything yet. And they are attacking this city as well. This city under attack from Anangu. Maybe they'll get one. That'd be a nice story for them. Until they get wiped out, I guess. That might not be so good. Motu's starting to look pretty stacked as an island. As is Wagi. Everyone's just building up. The Oceanic Wars are among us. They have begun. Or upon us, not among us. There we go. We got the reference in. Is that the first time we've mentioned it on the channel? Probably not. I've definitely said it in streams. There's a lot of boats out here. Little do they know. These guys are pretty close. There it is, hidden away. If you've been wondering, I don't think I've shown it till now because there's just so much water. If we go to the east of the map, it could have been down here. There's also civs exploring this portion of the deep ocean. Very isolated units. There's a submarine all the way out here from Brunei. Yeah, some very isolated. These units are very far away from anyone else. And these are like hundreds of miles, so these guys wouldn't even be able to see each other, so... Actually, maybe not hundreds, because it's zoomed in. I don't know how long the sort of... How tall is Australia in miles? There you go, big question. I'm not even going to answer, not even going to look for that one, just because I'm not going to work out like how wide a tile is supposed to be. It's not worth it. Australia adopts the order ideology, which certainly seems to be the dominant one in this game. So that will just be another boost for all the civs already following it to get some more tourism, some more pressure. I don't know who even stuck with and is autocracy right now. If it loads or wants to load, we can find out. Oh, there we go. Autocracy, yeah, it's just down to the Maori and Banuba, which maybe explains the war. Look at Banuba, minus 58 happiness. Lao is the other one, so we'll see. Maybe they have not been attacked as much. To be fair, when the Ngarrindjeri declared the war, they were autocracy, so it's probably not related to that, but maybe it helped. Now, I did see Lao had an artillery, which of course makes any sieges in the future much easier. That's a big step towards seeing some more mobile warfare, some quicker, bigger results in wars. Haven't seen anyone else with them. I would assume that someone has them. Although it could just be Lao, but I would guess someone has them, or at least could build them and hasn't. There's a lot of battling going on here as Anangu really mess up Banuba's army, and with New South Wales here as well, it's not looking so big anymore. It's definitely been separated a little bit. We get another ideology, Burma, now also joining order. It seems that's the one. That will put more pressure on Lao. Now, everyone around them, Burma, Vietnam, Singapore, Aceh. Actually, I think one of those is freedom, but Brunei as well. I think are all order civs. I can't remember who's the free. Oh no, sorry, the Wagi are the freedom civs, so that doesn't matter. They're down here. They're just doing their own thing. They don't care. It's the place to be right now, I would say. Although, I don't know. It looks like there's some tensions between... I feel like them and Motu don't like each other. Even though they've not fought, I feel like there's some tensions. Maybe they love each other, I don't know. But there's no open borders. There's a bit of trade, but no open borders. That maybe suggests they're not the best fans of each other. And there we go. A city does fall. It was just this one that was the former... what was it? The Yolngu who were up here. That fell to Banuba anyway, because New South Wales owned it. But there's still plenty of sea battles in particular going on along the coast. There is of course the first usage of planes as well. New South Wales is kind of keeping them discreet. I don't know if they're bombing them over here, but certainly they're hiding them Not really using them. They're bombing this city a little bit, but nothing crazy. Banuba does not have planes yet, so that's obviously a tech disadvantage, and the Kulin is marching on this city very slowly. But yeah, the Murray's attempts have been denied, but I think they will escape. They'll get away with it. These caravels and Kulin ships forming a unusual alliance to try and beat these frigates. Murray cargo ship down there going to the Kulin, so those two have put aside some of their differences. And there was a city just settled. Yep, there it is, the Kulin finally plopping down that settler in this southern part of this island. Maybe that will, you know, get Aceh to do something, who knows. But there we go, some extra tiles for the Kulin. If not, and there was that Lao settler, I don't know if it was planning to settle somewhere down here. I'm guessing it's going to keep going, but maybe. And there's another Banuba city here now, as Brunei produces a battleship. That's pretty fearsome, and some artillery. They heard us. They didn't have any, and then 2 turns later, boom. Unless they did have it and I missed it, and you guys have already commented telling me how I missed it, but there we go. But yeah, that battleship is going to be pretty fearsome, at least early on in the game. And there is a revolution for Banuba, which yeah, is big, and it's probably going to lead to the fall of autocracy. But more importantly, it's 2 turns where they can't build anything. They lose science, which they're already behind on. It's a big chance for all these other civs to sort of cause some havoc for the next 2 turns. So we'll see how that works out. And they'll also, of course, lose their autocracy bonuses. I don't know if you... I don't think... They'll probably get the order ones though, so it doesn't matter too much. And I don't know what situation, what does that leave? Maori -12. Maori very isolated, so probably not as affected. And Lao, they are not in the best spot. I mean, Burma and Vietnam, I think, yep, combining for a lot more tourism as their neighbours. But Laos kind of stronger, and again, in the corner of the map, it's not as bad. Banuba was surrounded by civs. Banuba is probably in the middle, if you, I don't know, they're pretty much in the middle of the map, and now they've got islands everywhere too. They were being influenced by just about everyone, so it makes sense. Whereas Lao is in the corner, and pretty strong relative to their neighbours, and are the only one not facing dissidents, so whatever the logic is, it's working for Lao, so maybe I'm not sure why, but there we go. They're doing okay. Igorot's still just here, trading from the Wagi, and their own trader going, again, no idea, because it won't let me zoom out that far. It looked like one of these cities, potentially. Singapore, trading with the new Lao cities, as Australia already piecing out with Banuba. Now I feel like there's that race to get. To be fair, it's not really stopped Banuba or anything, and hurt anyone, but it has really weakened their army here. I'm guessing a lot of units, a few units did definitely sort of escape and get back on the roads and then go further away. But yeah, this was a huge chunk, and New South Wales has just come out and said, no, get away, this is our territory. And yeah, they've put a stamp on that. And they may still keep going. They are definitely they're the civ to look out for here. They go for this city. But yeah, not a great one, but Banuba have certainly had the naval advantage, at the very least in defending their territory. They've never been threatened from the sea, and the Khmer are still just here, just doing their thing. Just sat here with their pikemen. Are you still losing 114 gold per turn? I wonder. That would be interesting if they were. I doubt it. I feel like that number had not adapted or not adjusted to them. Potentially. Where is it? GMP. No, not GMP, it's net gold. We don't use net gold in the results, but it's still, it was just that minus 114. It's down to minus 20, so they're not too bad. They do actually have a bit of a bank, so yeah, minus 20, they can last on that for a long time. New South Wales with a huge reserve of cash. Banuba as well, fairly big, but not as big. Lao also have a pretty big one. And then all these sort of trader mid to big sized nations that are doing a lot of trade, also stacking up the funds. Who's got net yet? I mean, 870. That's twice as much net gold. Obviously, we use G&P more as a measure of the economy. Which, is there some changes in that? There is some changes if you look in here. I think some big gainers, some big losers in there. But there we go. That will be it for this one. We will continue next time and see what happens to Banuba. And hopefully we get Lao v Vietnam. I think everyone wants that now. Motu v Wagi could be another good one. And also, I guess between maybe not so much New South Wales, they're a bit ahead. But definitely Australia and Ngarrindjeri could be interesting as well. If one took the other one out, what would that mean for New South Wales? But anyway, that'll be it for this one. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.